One of the critical questions, of course, is you have to keep the government on track towards fiscal consolidation. That's something Sitharaman's been very careful about, and being very prudent. We saw Shah asking for the fiscal purse to be opened. The government's been very, very careful about how they spend. The big debate playing out in Delhi, Shankar Iyer, is about where the money is being spent. Parties like AAP pushing for a lot more spending on social infra, healthcare, education. The government really big on physical infra.
But, last year they did that Shagun number, 11,000 crores, whatever, for capex. And almost 1 lakh crore of that is not spent. So it's not like the government is running out of money. The problem is the execution. The other aspect is the singular achievement of this government is fiscal consolidation, and I hope they don't sort of mess it up. This is really important because India is at that intersection. If they get the growth right, they might just get a ratings upgrade because S&P has put you on positive, and maybe in a year's time, maybe if you get 7+% growth.
Explain to everyone watching what's the advantage with the ratings upgrade.
When the ratings go up, your inflows improve, your new bond debt instrument rate rankings, just like we celebrated the inclusion of India in the JP Morgan index and the Bloomberg index. There could be much more space for India to receive funds. Global funds actually invest on the basis of ratings.
Cost of government borrowing comes down.
Cost of government borrowing comes down. Your currency is much more stronger because the inflows change. Basically, what a rating does is that it changes the flows, the pattern of flows. Now, for that to happen, you have to fix the domestic economy and get that growth above 7+%. And then you might be able to pitch to the rating agencies that you are not dealing us a good hand.
How far do you think, Punita, we are from a ratings upgrade?
No, see, I think on the ratings side, even if we have a ratings upgrade, I'm not, there is a currency adjustment that is going on. And that is more concerning, would be more concerning for foreign investors because while they may get better opportunity to make money in the bond market if the ratings upgrade, but then if the currency weakens, then they lose that. So right now, I think what is very important is what happens to the currency.
No, it's not going to happen now. I mean, there's no chance at 6.5 you will get upgraded. If you pitch 2 successive years or at least 2 quarters or 3 quarters of 7+% growth, then you can actually make a legitimate case before the rating agencies. Just now, your sort of your debt to GDP ratio is 85%. It's like crazy. The Oliver Blanchard's formula is that your debt can be sustained only if your rate of growth is higher than the service payment.
So, but if US investors, you're getting 4.5% in US treasuries, you would rather invest there than invest in India, take the currency weakness, and all you'll get is you'll get less than what you get in the US.
So as of now, AAA rated or even triple B in the US is fetching you 8, 9, 10%.
Yeah.
I mean, you asked in the morning why are corporates sitting on cash? Because it's much more profitable to do treasury operations for all this.
Yeah, AAA corporates or even AA are giving 7.7, 7.5, 7.8. US treasuries are 4.5 plus.
By the time you fix the hedging
currency devaluation, you make less investing in Indian bonds.
Can I just sort of pivot to what many believe could be the central theme or one of the central themes of the budget, which is the middle class. As we mentioned, the president mentioned it 8 times, the prime minister mentioned it in his opening remarks to the budget session. Now, if I look at the wordplay in the 2024 budget, there was a lot of talk, both in 2024 and 23, Berozgari and youth were central planks. 2023, it was the Kisan. There was a lot of talk about getting farmers their due. How does the middle class get its due? Is it simply standard deduction and the fact that you get some tax breaks at 10 lakhs and upwards don't have to, below 10 lakhs don't pay tax? What is it that you believe will give the middle class? And we can define who is the middle class. Rahul seems to believe that I'm not middle class. I believe I am. I'm not looking at income alone. You're looking at mindsets.
There was a lunch at Sanjay Jha's house. This is the JDU leader. Amit Shah was there. And one senior editor said, सर हम जैसे मिडिल क्लास के लिए क्या होगा, एंड अमित शाह turned around and said, अगर आप मिडिल क्लास हो ना तो इस देश के नागरिक को सरकार की जरूरत नहीं है. Then the citizen doesn't need the government. You can take care
I
of
think I
yourself.
know who you're talking about.
So anyway,
we won't mention names.
Rajiv, but it's very
Yeah,
clear.
But I'm just asking.
that the middle class needs,
what does the middle class need?
And middle class needs some TLC from this government. This government has taken the middle class vote for granted for too long. Now they're saying, boss, apne ko kya mila? What can the finance minister do?
So, as part of the direct tax reforms, certain type of tax relief, maybe the tax slabs go up in some way, maybe there is an intermediate rate introduced. I don't know, but some format of reforms in the DTC, ease of taxation, ease of living needs a certain boost. I think one of the real problems is there is an impending kind of cost of living crisis going on because of dearth of supply side reforms. So if we have supply side reforms, increase of businesses providing the certain types of goods and services which the middle class consumes, along with direct tax code coming in, together that will give a very good relief over the next few years.
Because, what's being mentioned is that you'll raise the tax exemption limit up to 10 lakhs an annum. Now, who is middle class? It comes back to who is middle class. You're looking at effectively people, therefore, earning 80 to 85,000 a month who will get the benefit which they are not getting today. But there is a large pool of people who earn more than 10 lakhs, who are also the BJP's core base, who are asking, what am I getting? The RWA, the upper middle class. It's that upper middle class which is the most vociferous at the moment, saying, what is in it for me?
So the demonstration effect, you must remember, the political class over the last 2 years has given lots of sops to the bottom of the pyramid. The top of the pyramid in India is the rent reapers. The bottom of the pyramid is the rent seekers. Beech mein phasa hai middle class. So I give you an anecdote to tell you the sense of frustration among the middle class. So I was at a conference of private equity guys. So one of the young guys just perked up and said, will there be a cut in income tax? So I said, what would satisfy you? He said 18%. I said, that is quite a precise number. How did you arrive at it? He said, they are charging me 18% GST on everything I consume. I want an 18% rebate. See, that's the level of frustration among middle class, that the guys who are getting Ladki Behan, this Yojana, that Yojana, everybody who's in the middle class thinks that I am paying for the GST, I am paying, one of the most bizarre things, you rent out your flat where the government has no business to intervene, it gets a service tax. You take a subscription in telecom. I don't know what is the government's contribution exactly to get 18% GST on telephone. So that all these things are now hurting. They're saying that
why is GST rationalization not happening? Everybody knows what to do, but why are we not being able to make
building the consensus in GST Council, bringing all the states on board.
No,
even a few holdouts are there.
No, there is a simple thing. This is like Satya Nadella spoke about Jivan's paradox. The Jivan's paradox is anything that becomes efficient becomes overutilized. So here you have the direct benefit transfer. The cash transfer system has become so efficient that states have nearly 8,000 codes registered on the NPCI. So every state, whenever they want to switch on a scheme, they can switch on. The other part of it, GST revenues are very predictable, 1.7, 1.6 lakh crores. So now in the next 3 days, Maharashtra is going to have a strike of all the contractors because contractors haven't been paid 1 lakh crore money because all that money can't be paid and because all the Ladki Behan and all the Yojanas have taken, which is Himachal, Maharashtra, Punjab,
Karnataka.
all of this. Karnataka.